Hi everyone, this is Mrs. McGrath. I'm going to take you through activity 2 lesson, the chess palm. Okay, so you're going to join your Tinkercad class using the 12-digit code in Google Classroom. Once you're in, you're going to go to Learn, then Lessons, and Chess Pawn. Okay, Start is over here. And just like in the starters, the directions are going to be on the right-hand side. So I'm going to press Next. Okay, so before we get started, here is your toolbar up here. Here's how you would copy, paste, discard an item. Undo is literally my best friend. Okay, we used group in the starters. Here's ungroup, align. Your basic shapes that we're going to be using are all here. Okay, so step 1, drag and drop a cylinder shape to the work plane. So here's the cylinder. I'm going to put it right here. It's good to look at multiple views to make sure you have it in the correct place. Scale it to a smaller height. Now, when I click on my object, a bunch of numbers will appear. The height is going to be this on the side, right? There's the height. So I can either drag this down to a 3, or I can even type directly into that box. Drag a work plane to the top of the cylinder. Okay, so the work plane is up here. Now, what a work plane does is it will make the plane 3 millimeters higher to be on top of that cylinder, and anything we place will go on top of it. Now, the hint tells us to put it here, but we want to make sure it's actually like right on top of the cylinder, and your screen should change orange. So if your screen is still blue, that's because you put the work plane not actually on top of the cylinder. So please make sure it's on top. Okay, next, drag a cone to the top of the cylinder. So here we go. Here's a cone. Now, something to be careful of. From one direction, it might look in the correct place, but from another angle, it might not. I can also use my up and down arrows to get things directly where I want them. I can also change my snap grid. So this is at 1 millimeter. If I make that smaller, then my up and down arrows are more exact. Okay, next, scale the shape to a total height of 11 millimeters. When I click on this, these are my diameter numbers. The diameter is the circumference, the center point of a circumference from side to side, cuts it in half. We don't want that, we want the height. So I need to turn this. Here is my height, and I'm going to make that 11. Drag a sphere on top of the work plane. So here is my sphere. I'm going to drag it here. Looks good. Okay. Now, scale the sphere to a diameter of 18 millimeters. Squish it, scale it to a height of 5. So if I look at this from a top view, I need to change both of these numbers to 18. A true circle only has one diameter, but this gives it a length and width component. So make sure you're changing both diameter numbers, or you're going to have an oval, not a circle. The height is here, so I'm going to click on this and change the height to 5. Okay, and that now I can move it to make it more center. All right, add another cone to the work plane. No problem. Scale it to a height of 18 millimeters. Scale it to a diameter of 14. So once again, the height is here, and they want that to be 28. The diameter, they want it to be 14, and we have to change both of these numbers. See if I only change one, how it's all squishy. So to remain a circle, keep it at 14. Okay, move the cone to the target orange area. Lift the cone 3 millimeters off the work plane. Okay, how do we lift things? Great question. See this up here that looks like a cone. You pull it up and down, and you see how the number on the bottom changes. So we want this to be 3. Okay, so once again, and looking at it from a different angle might be better. So this cone here is what changes the height. You left click and pull it up or down. Okay, and then they want us to move it here. I like to go to the top to make sure it's lined up because from the side, a lot of times you can't tell. Okay, drag another cone to the target. No problem. Scale it to diameter of 12 millimeters. Once again, 12 here, here. Height of 19. Turn it, click on this, change this height to 19. Rotate the cone 180 degrees, move it to the target area. Okay, so once again, those handles are what moves it 180. So I can either take the handle and kind of left click and pull it, or I can type 180 right in that circle. That looks amazing. Okay, okay. So this one here, and I don't know why, but that is not in the right place. So I'm also gonna pull that up. See how like there's the triangle there? So I'm gonna pull that up so it's in the right place. Okay. Next, drag a work plane to the top of the cone. All right, so they want the work plane here and we need to make it flat. So here's the work plane and I'm gonna put it on top. Drag a sphere shape to the work plane. Here is my sphere. Scale the sphere to 8 times 8 times 8. That means an 8 by 8 by 8 component, so length, width, and height. So if I change this to 8 and this to 8 and my height also to 8, the diameters of my circle are now 8 by 8 by 8. Okay, now it's kind of lined up, but there's a tool to make it perfect, so don't worry if it's a little wonky. Okay, drag a work plane to the original location. So that means I'm just going to take this work plane here and put it anywhere else on the screen, like over here. And now the work plane's back at 0, sea level, ground level. So if I put something else on it, it would be right on the bottom. Okay. Align the shapes. Select all shapes. Click the Align button. Align the shapes to the middle on the front and side. Okay, so to select all shapes, I'm going to left click and hold, making a box around my shapes. Align is up here. If you hover over these, it tells you the name of them. Here's Align. This is the height alignment. That would bring everything to the top, middle, or bottom. That would be terrible to do because we just spent this whole time getting it to the correct height. So what we're going to do instead is look at it from the top, and click, click, perfect. Okay, and then this is my chest palm. That looks so good. All right. Next, group the shapes. Select all shapes and group them. So I'm going to select all and I'm going to group. And now it's one figure. I can move it together. I can even change its color. And I would be able to send this chest pawn to a 3D printer and it would print it out just like this. All right, guys, so this is the chess pawn lesson. Please try it yourself. It's pretty tricky. You might have to go back and look at different parts of the video as you do it. Um, If you need help, you can always, email me, message me. There's a pizza lesson after this that's optional. If you're really into Tinkercad, I would say go for it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Good luck.